Hey everyone, if you saw my last video, you'll know that I recently reserved an Aptera. This crazy futuristic looking, solar powered, long range, highly efficient, three-wheeled car. Here are the top 5 reasons that convinced me to reserve an Aptera. I really like the way the Aptera looks. I have a feeling it's going to be a love it or hate it kind of design, but I kind of love it. In general, I love futuristic looking stuff. When I was a kid, I used to love the movie Back to the Future 2. I would fast forward to just kind of the beginning scenes where they would show a lot of the cars. I mean, not only are flying cars cool, but just the way that the designs of the cars looked, especially in the 80s. I think nowadays it's not that radical, but back in the 80s, those cars looked really cool. And I've always been drawn to futuristic looking things. I've also always wanted a car where the doors open up. I've always been a fan of Lamborghini with their scissor doors, and going back to the Future, I always thought the DeLorean was so cool how the doors opened up. Now, I don't know how practical doors like that are in real life, but I think I'm still going to enjoy it. I like that Aptera's approach to making an EV is different than other auto manufacturers. Aptera is trying to make the most efficient vehicle possible. For all automakers, the goal seems to be longer range and faster charging. A highly efficient vehicle can go farther using less energy, it'll require a smaller battery, and it'll charge faster because that battery is smaller. Another way Aptera is approaching this whole thing differently is they're backing the right to repair. Now, if you're not familiar with it, there is a trend, especially in tech companies right now, that people are making their products hard or impossible for owners to repair on their own. Aptera wants to make it easy for owners to repair their own car if they so choose. I really like these two different approaches, and I really hope other auto manufacturers follow their lead. Efficiency has another benefit: cheaper price. The price ranges from $25,600 to $46,000. My configuration is supposed to cost me $32,000 before taxes. And what I got with that was the full solar package, level 2 autonomy, and 400 miles of range. Before we go any further, here's a little disclaimer. From what I've gathered, it seems like some of the things I'm going to talk about next haven't been tested in the real world yet. Aptera does have working prototypes, but not a final production car yet. I'm assuming some of the stats are coming from computer simulated tests. We don't really know some things yet, like crash tests, how well the solar panels will actually work on the car, and if the cars can get the range that Aptera is claiming. Range is another big reason why I put money down on this car. Since it's so aerodynamic, with the trim level that I'm getting, I'm supposed to be able to go 400 miles off a 40 kilowatt hour battery. Now, to put that in perspective, my Bolt can go 270 miles off a 64 kilowatt hour battery. I live in an apartment where I can't charge my car. I'll go to a university a couple miles away and leave my car there overnight a couple times a week. Or I'll do a quick charge whenever I need it. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it would make my life a lot easier if I could charge where I live. The Aptera is supposed to be able to gain up to 40 miles of range a day just from sitting in the sun with the full solar package. Now, that'd be like getting a gallon or two of gasoline whenever it's sunny for free. It's pretty crazy. Now, I'm pretty lucky in that I live in Southern California, where it's sunny here about 95% of the time, so I might actually be able to get that theoretical 40 miles a day. Currently, my daily commute is 80 miles, so that 40 miles of solar range isn't going to take care of the whole commute, but it's going to make it so that I don't have to stay at the charger as long every week. I'd also love to be able to go camping and not have to worry about getting stuck in the middle of nowhere if there isn't a charger nearby. It also seems like a good idea to have a mode of long-range transportation that's self-sufficient. If the grid goes down, you wouldn't be able to pump gas or charge an electric car, but as long as the sun shines, I'd be able to drive. This video is sponsored by no one, but if you would like to help me out and you're interested in getting an Aptera for yourself, use this QR code and save $30 off the reservation fee. It'll also help me save money on my Aptera. Next time, we'll look at the top 5 things that I'm nervous about with Aptera. You've been watching EVs with Kaz. I'm Kaz. You're awesome. I'll see you next time.